Hello again, friends. Christmas celebrations usually include the wise men who came from the east to visit Jesus. These men had seen a new star in the east, and their interpretation was that a noteworthy king of the Jewish nation had been born, so they set out to worship this newborn king. When the wise men arrived in Jerusalem, they inquired of the reigning King Herod about the newly born king. King Herod, who felt threatened, called the religious leaders together. They determined that the prophets had foretold that the Jewish Messiah was to be born in Bethlehem. Herod, who intended to kill the child, sent the travelers on to Bethlehem and asked to be informed of the place where they found the child. The star which they had seen in the east went on ahead of them until it came to a stop over the place where the child was to be found. And after they came into the house, they saw the child with his mother Mary, and they fell down and worshipped him. Then they opened their treasures and presented to him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Isn't it amazing that faith, worship, gifts came from outsiders who sought Jesus? Are we, who often feel like outsiders, willing to receive Jesus and become worshipers of the living God? A little side note is worthy of our attention as well. Because of the death threat to Jesus from King Herod, Joseph had to flee the country and take the family with him to Egypt to keep them safe. Joseph and Mary were poor people and certainly didn't have enough funds to provide for a long trip and a lot of time away in a foreign country. But God is never unprepared for the details of his good plans. The gifts the wise men brought for Jesus of gold, frankincense, and myrrh were quite valuable. So God provided funding for the family's journey to Egypt, a journey they didn't even know they would have to take at the time. God will do amazing things in our lives when we believe on the one he has sent. Loving God, not one little detail of our lives and our needs escapes your attention. Thank you for the security we have in knowing that you will not only guide us, warning us when danger is approaching, but will also provide for us in whatever conditions we find ourselves in because we have followed your direction. Help us to be like the wise men and follow the signs you give us in your word each day, and trust you to use us for great good. Give us good discernment like Joseph, to know when to stand and when to flee. Our lives are safe when they are in your hands. Amen. God knows so much about our future that we don't. We would do well to ask for and follow his guidance and trust his provision for all our needs as we go forward.